See Family Records. Learn to find your family in the 1810 census. What can be found? Homes, head of household, age, gender, race, and slaves. The 1810 census did not have a standardized form, but some locations used a printed form. Rutherford, Tennessee was one of the locations to use a form. The images found in this presentation can be found on Ancestry.com. The information in 1810 is sparse, but we can learn about the location of homes, names of the head of the household, a little about the families, and a few other facts. The next few pages show some of the different census pages at the top of the page. Since no form was provided by the government, each county created their own. This is from Marlboro, South Carolina. This provides handwritten headings. This is from Boston, Massachusetts. This census page has nothing to indicate what each column represents. This is from Clearfield, Pennsylvania. They used a form, which makes it much easier to read the information. Name. To the left is an example of heads of families taken in Clearfield County, Pennsylvania. To the right is an example from Marlboro, South Carolina. In Windsor, Vermont, the census taker alphabetized the last names. This made it easier to find your family when looking on microfilms, but with indexed records this is not as helpful. It is better when the census takers listed people in the order of the visits. This allows you to see neighbors who were often family members or their children often married into neighboring families. Above is a page from Boston, Massachusetts. Sometimes women were listed. Usually it was because they were widows and became the head of the household. Many census takers abbreviated names. Benjamin abbreviated B-E-N-J with a small n. William abbreviated W-I-L-L with a small m. Home. The census taker in Boston, Massachusetts wrote the street name. Below we see that some people lived on Summer Street and others lived on Purchase Street. Always look for interesting differences in the censuses. This census taker in Boston, Massachusetts used brackets to group people on the page and then placed a 1 next to either the group or the individual. This might mean all the people in the group lived on one piece of property or in one home. If that is true, it is likely that the people are related in some way. Age. This snippet is from Clearfield County, Pennsylvania. The form makes it easier to read the records. 0 to 10, 1801 to 1810. 10 to 16, 1795 to 1800. 16 to 26, 1785 to 1794. 26 to 45, 1766 to 1785. 45 and older, they were born before 1765. Many pages like this snippet do not have the ages at the top of the page, making it challenging to figure out the markings on the page. Family of John Shout. 1 male and 5 females, 0 to 10. 1 female, 10 to 16. No one, 16 to 26. 1 male and 1 female, 26 to 45. No one, 45 or older. This is a comparison of Lydia Thompson in 1810 and 1820 in Boston, Massachusetts. Doing these comparisons between censuses is challenging, but really worth it when you can find evidence of the same family from census to census. 2 of her sons and 1 daughter likely married during the 10 years or died. In 1810 census, there was 1 male and 1 female 0 to 10, born 1801 to 1810. There's 1 male and 1 female, 10 to 16, born 1795 to 1800. 1 male and 1 female, age 16 to 26, born 1785 to 1794. There's 1 female, age 26 to 45, born 1766 to 1785. It appears that the young son and youngest 2 daughters are living with Lydia in 1820. This is Lydia Thompson. Gender. We do not learn the name of each person, but we learn how many males and females are free white persons living on the property. Race. There are few distinctions for race. White persons. All other persons except Indians not taxed in this column. Slaves, who were usually blacks. Employment. Most of the 1810 census does not give any information on the person's occupation. This census taker in Center, Northumberland County, Pennsylvania, created a column and listed people's occupations. Constable, farmer, laborer, carpenter, ditto or do, same as above, paper mill. 1810 Census Challenge. See if you can find the following. Where a family lived, a relative in the 1810 census, the age ranges and genders of a family with slaves. The end.